Welcome to the East County Sports Report, brought to you by EastCountySports.com. It's championship week in the East County, and of course we're breaking down all those games. Now this week we're a little bit crazy in our schedules and we're unable to get into the studio together, so we're kicking it over to Ramon Scott, who's going to break down the games this week and of course give you that inside details that you've come to love from Ramon. Ramon, take it away.
Hi guys, sorry I can't make it out to the studio this week, but with this being championship week, want to make sure I give an update from my perspective on this week's big Friday night card in prep football, starting with the Grossmont Hills League championship game, the Helix Highlanders and the Grossmont Foothillers. Well, the Helix Highlanders have it all, don't they? The number 2 ranking in the county, a 20-game winning streak over the Grossmont Foothillers. They have possession of the much talked about but rarely seen Musket perpetual trophy that goes to the winner of the Grossmont Helix Series each year. And they also have got Rob Stone at homecoming. What more could the Helix Highlanders ask for? For the Grossmont Foothillers, what do they have? A big giant chip on their shoulder. That's after the statistics for the Musket game right now currently stands at Helix 41, Grossmont 18. This is the 62nd meeting for the Musket. There have been a couple of ties in there. These teams didn't meet for a few years early in the millennium. It's not 66 meetings as some people have said, but it's the 62nd game. There was a tie in my senior year when it was 7-7 back in 1986, and also in 1989 they tied 21-21. Grossmont won the first ever meeting for the Musket 13-6. That was back in 1951. My good friend over the last 30 plus years, Bill Dickens, is a Grossmont Foothiller, and he's paid me several dinners and then some, but we always have a good tease about it every year, and I can always talk a little trash to him, but he's going to talk about all the great baseball championships the Grossmont's won, so it's going to be a great game. I've got Helix by 3 touchdowns. Over in the Grossmont Valley League, Monte Vista and Granite Hills. Well, Monte Vista has done a great job this season with their ground game, led by Jamon McClendon and their big guys up front. Granite Hills, they've had an incredible resurgence. 6-2 record, 2-0 mark coming into this game. Well, they have won 12 straight league games now, and to go along with their 2 consecutive league titles. Last year, Granite Hills won at Monte Vista 35-14. In that game, Jake Siegfried had 287 yards of total offense, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a touchdown pass to Will Burton. Jamon McClendon scored the 2 touchdowns for Monte Vista in that game. He also will be accompanied by an up-and-coming star, El Shaddai Levi, who had 3 touchdowns last week in the Monarchs' win. He was the East County Sports Offensive Player of the Week. So this one's going to really come down to a battle of the big men inside for Granite Hills. You've got Burton, Tyler Gonzalez, Garrett Curran, going up against the underrated line, Monte Vista's guys, Emmanuel Mendez, Christian De La Cruz, and Blake Schmidt. Despite the Monarchs' great resurgence under Ron Hamamoto, right now, Monte Vista has not won a league championship since 2014. But Hamamoto, the great coach, is tied with former Torrey Pines head coach Ed Burke with 215 section wins. That's tied for 6th in San Diego County history. If Monte Vista beats Granite, he would tie with Gil Warren for 5th place all time. In this game, I've got Granite Hills winning by a touchdown. West Hills is out at El Capitan, and this is almost a playoff game in Division 2. El Capitan comes in 11th place in the standings, while West Hills is in 14th place. So an upset here by West Hills would flip the script a little bit, possibly put West Hills in the playoffs. Maybe El Capitan would be on the bubble. Wick Hauser returned for the Vaqueros last week, and he looked great in the early going. 11 of 13 for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. However, he did leave the game and did not return. Antonio Olivieri came in for him and finished the rest of the game. El Capitan was considerably in front. Yaphet Yokley also returned to the Vaqueros lineup, and he zigged and zagged for 2 touchdowns in the first. Now, if El Capitan has to take a more running approach, Connor Russa had a big game against West Hills last year with 143 yards in their 24-17 win at West Hills. West Hills, they've done a great job as well. Despite their 2 league losses now, they're fighting for that playoff spot. Jordan Young has looked great at quarterback. He's accounted for 15 of West Hills' 20 offensive touchdowns. I've got El Capitan winning this one at homecoming by a point. The battle for the Hamashaw helmet as Valhalla visits Steel Canyon. The Norsemen have had possession of the Hamashaw helmet for the last 5 years, including a 21-14 win last year. What a great game it was. Valhalla forced a fumble on 4th and goal at the 1-yard line, then turned around and went on a 10-play drive to score with about 6.5 minutes to go in the game. They held on for the 21-14 win. Seniors that were in that game for Valhalla back this year, of course, Brian Madriz, the quarterback, defensive stalwarts, Ty Shimke, Josh McNish-Hyder, and Jace Manning. The Cougars, meanwhile, are on the edge of the top 20 for the first time in a while, and they're in line for a first-round home game in the playoffs. As long as they win their games, they're supposed to win like this one here. Want to also mention Balone Martinez. He scored his first touchdown last week on a touchdown reception from Thomas Fishburne. I've got Steel Canyon winning this one by 2 touchdowns, taking the Hamashaw helmet back down Campo Road. Okay, now El Cajon Valley and Santana in a Grossmont Valley League game. Both these teams are battling for a playoff spot in their respective divisions. El Cajon Valley, of course, is in Division 4. They're currently in 11th. Santana's in Division 3. They're currently in 11th. Santana's lost 3 straight. They're off their bye. But next week they play at Mount Miguel. They're going to be an underdog. If they win that game, they're probably in the playoffs. El Cajon Valley is probably resigned to fate as far as their playoff chances are concerned. They still could sneak in even if they don't win this game here. Now, with Granite Hills next for the Braves, this is the Braves' most competitive remaining game, so they're going to likely give a great effort at Santana. I've got Santana winning this one by 4 scores. Christian is going up against Scripps Ranch after last week Lincoln manhandled the Patriots over at Valley Stadium, limiting them to just 7 points in a 20-7 victory for the Hornets in a big league game showdown that took Christian out of contention in the Eastern League. But this week they're playing at Scripps Ranch. Scripps Ranch is just 1-7, so Christian can start racking up some numbers and get a victory here and build their confidence for the playoffs. They still have some big games left, including next week's game against Point Loma. Christian has to prove that it can win games against higher ranked teams, so they're going to get that one last chance to make a big statement and build their confidence for the playoffs. Jeremiah and the Patriots still have some milestones to achieve, so Brad hopefully can get some passing touchdowns going with that wide open offense, get things back on track in time for the postseason. I've got Christian winning this one by 4 touchdowns. Orange Glen is going to be visiting Mountain Empire this week. The Redhawks won at homecoming last week, 31-0 over Calipatria. Expect they should win this final home game. Orange Glen's had a tough season. They're coming in 1-7. How about Wyatt Aguilar? Wyatt was the homecoming king last week for Mountain Empire, and he also scored 7 points in the game, including kicking a field goal and 4 extra points. Make no mistake, Mountain Empire Division 5 is an 8-team playoff, so right now Mountain Empire is well out of the postseason picture. However, next week Mountain Empire plays number 1 seed Vincent Memorial, a big upset there, and who knows how high they could jump. Still, that's going to be a tough game. I like Mountain Empire, though, to win this one by 10 points. An 8-man game over at Sayal Field on Thursday night at 7 p.m. This one will match 2 of the top 4 8-man teams in the county. The Foothills Christian Knights, the defending 8-man champion, goes up against San Diego Jewish Academy. Right now, San Diego Jewish Academy is the 4th-ranked team, and Foothills Christian is the 3rd-ranked team. They've actually fallen behind Julian, who's moved up into 2nd. Still, this is one of the quote-unquote other important games of the season in that league because it's only a 3-team league. San Diego Jewish Academy, Foothills Christian, and Calvin Christian, which is Foothills Christian's rival. This one's going to be a pretty tough game. San Diego Jewish Academy lost the game to Calvin last week, so they have a league loss. Foothills Christian needs to win this game so they can get their matchup with Calvin for the league title. All these teams will play again in the playoffs. I've got Foothills Christian winning this one by a touchdown. Alright guys, that's it from here in Lakeside. Can't wait to see you guys next week. We'll get everything together. Until then, good night.
The East County Sports Report, brought to you by EastCountySports.com. Real sports, real time.